morning, everyone. Thank you for joining us on this webinar on set points. It's a relatively short one this morning, but if you have any questions, just put them in and we'll get them at the end.
Hello and welcome to today's webinar. Today we will look at using set points with Horner controllers. We are going to begin by discussing set points in general, then what the Horner set point feature is and how it is used. Then we will start showcasing how to create set points, how to use them at runtime, and so on. Finally, we will finish with a Q&A session at the end. First, what is a set point? In automation, a set point is a desired target value that an automatic control system, such as a PLC or PID controller, tries to achieve for a process variable. What is the set point feature? In a Horner controller, our set point feature allows multiple variables, or registers depending on the program, to be initialized to a known value after download. With Horner controllers, we create a set point table with all our set point variables on it. Most commonly, this is done during machine deployment or download. By using set points during machine deployment, it helps ensure the machine starts out in a known state or with good default values. Horner has a variety of programming languages available and supported in CScape 10. Of these languages, all can be used to take advantage of the setpoint feature, except for enhanced IEC. With that in mind, we are going to start by discussing how to create set points in any of the variable-based languages. After this explanation, we will also show you an alternative to set points that you can use with enhanced IEC. We start by creating our variables. For best practice, variables to be used as set points should be created as retained variables. In standard IEC, only retained variables can be set points. But in variable-based advanced ladder, you can use global variables too, but this is not recommended. When you are ready to start classifying variables as set points, simply navigate to the Set Points menu in the Home tab in CScape 10. In this menu, click the Add button to start adding variables as set points. When adding set points, you can type them in manually or browse for them using the standard variable browser window. Once your variables have been added, we then have to set their set point values. We can assign these manually by double-clicking on the variable. Alternatively, if your controller is online, connected to your computer, and has all the variables on it with values you are happy with, you can simply navigate to the top of the Set Points menu, click on File, and select Get Values from Controller. You also have the option, on every download, to download the set point values alongside your program. This option is always present and always unchecked by default. Alternatively, you can include set points in a PGM file. First, navigate to the wave icon in the top left corner of CScape 10. In the main settings menu, select the Logic Editor tab. From here, select the option Export Setpoint Data as part of a PGM file. You can also just download the setpoint data without any program data needed. Simply navigate to the Setpoints menu and click on the Send Values to Controller from the dropdown. What about uploading setpoints? In the Home tab in CScape 10, select Download Options, and in this menu, you can check Setpoint Table. This will not impact downloads, but will cause uploads to automatically include set points. Before we get into our demonstrations, we are going to look at alternatives to set points. This is useful if you're using enhanced IEC as your logic language. You can create an initialize once bit which triggers rungs which set key values where you want them by using move blocks. Now let's take a look at the set point feature in CScape 10. Here we are in CScape. We need to ensure that all the variables we are going to use as set points are retained variables. If we navigate to the Program Variables window, we can see that all the variables for today's demonstration appear under the Retained Variables tab. Now, let's take a look at our setpoint table. Navigate to the Set Points button at the top. Here we can see all our set points in our setpoint table. For our demonstration, we have already added all our variables. We did this by clicking on the Add button at the bottom and selecting each variable from the drop-down menu provided. Next, we assign the set point values manually by double-clicking on each one and inputting a known value. If our controller was online and we had it pre-configured with the variables we wanted, we could have just used this Get Values from Controller option here. Quickly, let's take a look at the bench. Here is our controller, with our demo program running on it. For this demonstration, we have created this screen with all our key variables on it. They are all currently set to 0. Back in Cscape, if we navigate to File, Send Values to Controller, all our set point values should be sent to our controller. This will only work if your controller is connected to your instance of Cscape 10. Back to the bench, we can see that the data transfer worked correctly. All of our key variables have been updated with their new values. But what if our controller was not connected to this instance of Cscape 10? In this scenario, we could include our set point values on a download. To do this, simply check the Set Point Values checkbox in the Download menu before initiating your download. Next, let's look at uploads. If we want the set point table to be included in an upload, we first have to navigate to the Download Options menu at the top. In here, if we check this Set Point Table option, the set point table will be included in the upload. Finally, if we want to export our set point table in a .pgm file, we first need to navigate to the wave icon and click on Settings. In here, we can check the checkbox to export set point data as part of a .pgm file. And that's everything we need to cover in Cscape. And that concludes our webinar for today. Thank you so much for listening, and the Q&A session will begin shortly.
Okay, next week we'll be following on with a webinar on Ethernet IP with a Horner controller. So the registration links are up for that if you'd like to be in on that. I don't see any questions in on the set points one today, so I think we can leave it there. Thank you, and we'll see you next time.